So what up, basketball fans? You know who it is. If you don't, it's your boy Shake, and these are the top 10 gameplay changes in NBA 2K13. I want to start off by saying that we only got a chance to play one quarter of gameplay. We did not get a chance to dive into none of the other features that you guys might be interested in. We got a chance to talk about those other features to some degree, to a certain extent, but we did not get a chance to get too deep into other features and gameplay. What we can tell you, and what I can tell you, is what I learned from the actual gameplay in NBA 2K13. I'm going to go through this list, and I want you to know from the start that I went there with you in mind, and that you in mind only. My mentality was that I wanted to learn from what these guys have been putting together for 2K13 this whole time. I wanted to see if they were listening to the fans. I wanted to get a chance to meet the guys that actually implement the gameplay into the game, and find out if they actually were paying attention to some of the mistakes that were made in 2K12. I asked them a simple question. I said, they asked me, how can I tell if 2K13 is going to be a good game? And first off, I want you guys to know this. 2K basketball has been the example of good sports for many years now. You guys already know 2K is on point. I don't have to say anything that's going to make the game sound any better than it's already going to be. You guys are going to buy the game, and the game is going to speak for itself. I asked you guys one question, and that's the same question I asked everybody while we were at Team Up, at 2K13 Team Up. I said, could you go back to playing NBA 2K11 after playing NBA 2K12? And everybody in the room, developers, gamers, Ronnie 2K, Chris Manning, the guys that brought us out there, the marketing team, they all said yes, they could go back to NBA 2K11. This is because there were certain things in NBA 2K11 that made that game genuine. After asking that question, I asked them, after playing NBA 2K13, could you go back to NBA 2K12? And everyone said no. That speaks volumes, guys. NBA 2K13 is an entirely new basketball game. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to ramble off this list, and you guys will get the best of it when the demo comes out. Number 10 on that list of the 10 best gameplay changes in NBA 2K13 is defense. You're not going to see a whole bunch of ridiculous blocks from point guards anymore. You know, you're not going to see the ball bouncing off somebody's arm and getting rejections and things like that. It happens when it's supposed to happen. People that can actually block the ball can impact the ball and stop players on defense. Defense has been greatly upgraded. That was actually one of the things that I noticed immediately, and it's pretty much the reason why I think I went undefeated at NBA 2K13 Team Up. Some of the guys were probably too busy tweeting, but I was really into getting those controls down, and defense is what gave me the edge. In 2K13, if you put your body in front of somebody, you're gonna pretty much limit his opportunity from just going around you too easily. But it really is a cause and effect situation. If the guy's going to the right, if you go to the right and protect that area, you're gonna stop him. So defense is legitimate. There is no more suction going on defense. If I get in front of you and I stop you from your dribble, we will bump, but it'll be on my terms because I'm playing good defense. But if you don't know how to play good defense, people are going to dribble around you all day. So defense, number 10 on my list, is still one of the best gameplay changes in NBA 2K13. Number 9, presentation. We only saw one quarter of gameplay, but in that quarter of gameplay, there are all sorts of new presentation features. I know this is not something that's high on your list, but to some degree, the presentation is something that's changed. It's something that's different. When you guys see this, you're going to be floored at the certain things that they do in this game. I'm excited about it myself, and I've only seen 1/4 of gameplay. Number 8, player special abilities. Now, this is huge in this game because now it forces you to play to the strengths of everybody that's on the basketball court. If you know your team and you know the player you're playing with, you can actually dominate the game. I used a lot of advantages that the players that I had on my bench that helped me to outscore my opponents, and I used a lot of advantages that they have on the basketball court. If you guys remember All Pro Football 2008, they actually had the player abilities. You're gonna see that in NBA 2K13, and it is the best thing it's one of the best things in the game. Every player has their abilities, and these abilities, these strengths that you can go to, that you can use, are gonna help you take advantage of their true strengths and make it very difficult for you to stop them. So you have to really understand the game of basketball and understand the players and the players that are on that team. I'm excited. We only saw a few of them for each player that we got a chance to play with, and it's amazing. It's one of the best features I've seen in a basketball game. Number 7 on the best gameplay changes in 2K13, dunking. There's a whole new dynamic to dunking in this game. It may seem easy at first, but I just want to start off by saying that the dunking in this game is ferocious. It's crazy. There are moments in time that I saw in this game that blew my mind. And we literally played only 1/4 with 2 teams, the Miami Heat and the OKC Thunder. And every time we played, there was a new dunk. There was something different. There was something crazy. These are the things that you're going to be extremely excited about when you see this game. And why can't I put dunking in this list? I do host the NBA 2K Commentators Dunk Contest after all. So dunking is a phenomenal thing in 2K13. I promise you. Number 6, AI and player movement. This is a big thing for me because I know the game of basketball, and so do you, and nobody likes to see the AI standing around making bad decisions. In 2K13, they're going to make a lot more smarter, basketball educated decisions. It's almost like they put a lot more time into the AI, a lot more than I even thought they did. Even though I didn't get a chance to play my player and dive into the one player off-ball aspect, you can see the AI is cutting. The AI is moving. There's hardly any standing around. If you're someone dribbling the ball and you dribble towards a man that's standing still, for example, when I was using Russell Westbrook and I dribbled towards, for example, Kevin Durant, and if he was standing there, he would actually cut to the rim, go under the basket, and come out to the corner. There's a lot of player movement in NBA 2K13. It's the most realistic, fluid movement I've ever seen. AI and player movement in 2K13 is a beautiful thing. These guys, they really worked hard on it. That is a huge new gameplay change in NBA 2K13. Number 5, freedom. I don't know how to express this, but there is no more bumping. The bumping that takes place is legit. If a guy's playing good defense and he's in front of you and stopping you from taking a dribble to the left or to the right, he's playing absolute defense, you will get a small bump. But there's none of this suction bumping. You can run across the middle of the paint. You're not going to get sucked into an animation. These type of things don't happen in NBA 2K13. It doesn't mean that you can run through the paint like a knife through water. There is someone that's going to stop you. They're going to bump you. They're going to make sure that you're not going to have an easy path to an easy bucket. But to make things easier to understand, there's a lot of freedom on the basketball court. And this freedom didn't exist in 2K12. I'm telling you right now, when you get your hands in the first quarter, you're going to realize that immediately. A full court of freedom. So be excited for that. Number 4, speed. Speed was absolutely addressed. It's almost like they knew this from the start. They went ahead and adjusted that. Point guards are going to destroy centers and bigs in this game. Bigs almost have no speed. Kendrick Perkins got a steal and he was running down court. Miami defense caught up to him immediately. He had to pass the ball. Bigs do not have any speed. You're not going to see a big running down a point guard. There is no big that can actually stay with a point guard off the dribble. The handles in this game are through the roof, and bigs just don't have the footwork to handle it. Speed has totally been addressed. You guys at 2K Sports did your thing, and we really appreciate that. So speed is a huge, huge plus in NBA 2K13. Number 3 on that list, physics. There are a whole lot more realistic collision animations. I can't express this enough. Everything looks authentic. If a guy jumps in the air and he's being contested by a defensive player who jumps up with his left arm to block a shot, that left arm is going to get collided into, and if that foul takes place, it's going to look very legitimate. There's a whole host of new animations in this game. Actually, I was told that there's over 4,000 new animations put into the game. The physics in this game now are a lot more realistic. Every collision, you're going to see things like LeBron James using his right arm to defend, to block off a guy from trying to steal the ball. There's a whole lot more ball avoidance. That was something that a lot of people talked about. When people reach in, they're gonna protect the ball. If you're standing still in a face-up animation or maybe a triple threat, you're going to see the man protecting the ball and keeping the ball away. There are actually controls for you to keep the ball palmed and brought away from the defense. So those type of things right there, the physics in 2K13 are phenomenal. You guys are going to be extremely excited about that. Number 2, passing. This is the number 2 thing on my list. Passing is absolutely amazing in 2K13 so far. From the demo that we got a chance to play, it felt like passing was through the roof. Now, I didn't get a chance to play with a point guard that had a low pass rating, but I did get a chance to play with players that basically knew how to pass the ball, and you didn't see a whole lot of psychic defenders jumping in and deflecting passes. Passes are more accurate, and the biggest plus to the game is the new bounce passing. Bounce passing is almost an art now. I was doing things like half-court bounce passes in the paint. If a guy's cutting to the basket and he's got a free lane, you can manually bounce past the ball. It'll go right behind the defense for a wide open layup. You get the feeling that passing, that there's an art to it now. So when you guys get into the game, that's one of the big changes, one of the big gameplay changes of 2K13. They finally addressed the passing. It is phenomenal. And number 1 for the biggest and best gameplay changes in NBA 2K13, controls. The controls are the most dynamic controls you've ever played. If you've played anything like NBA Live 10, they've taken the controls to a whole new level. In 2K12, you had to actually input a command and then basically sit back and watch the animation take place, and if he shook the defensive player or not, it was based on that animation. In 2K13, you can interrupt everything. It's totally up to you. I was actually able to do my actual personal dribbling moves that I do in real life in the game. Not everybody can dribble. Not every single person can bust off combos and crossovers. I tried it with Serge Ibaka, Chris Bosh. I tried to do a few crossovers with Kendrick Perkins. It doesn't work. It's not going to happen, all right? Guys like even Ray Allen have a little bit of trouble dribbling and handling the ball. You will cause a lot of turnovers if you're trying to dribble and do a whole lot of fancy moves with guys that don't know how to handle the rock. But for the most part, the controls are a thing of beauty. When we played 1 quarter and then passed the controls up. By the second time I had the controls in my hands, I pretty much had the dribble controls down. There's so many beautiful things with the controls that you can do. There's so many nice tweaks. There's so many ridiculously amazing animations. You guys are going to be floored when you see NBA 2K13, the handles, the controls. That's the biggest change. This is what makes the game feel like an entirely new game. In my opinion, the controls are the #1 best gameplay change in NBA 2K13. They will be the reason that you feel that NBA 2K13 is an entirely new dynamic basketball game. It is the best that I've ever played in that department. So these are the top 10 best gameplay changes in 2K13. I have more videos on the way. It's your boy Shake. I'll holler at you dudes later.